Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Rich Latta here, back with another video. Slightly different location, but never mind that. Here we want to talk about the Indiana Fever versus the Atlanta Dream. I was in my home city, home area. Unfortunately, I did not get to go to the game due to some poor planning on my behalf, but hopefully I plan to make it to one of the two Fever Dream games in Atlanta here at the big arena. So nice win for the Fever today. A couple different, talking points here, slightly different from obviously the game that happened against Brazil, and the Washington game was different because Caitlyn didn't play in that one. So this was like your first real taste of what the Indiana Fever could possibly look like throughout the season. I thought there were a lot of strong performances from various members off the bench. I think there are some people that I might have a few questions about, and I think they need to tighten a couple things up. But we'll start with the big star, Caitlyn Clark. 23 minutes of action today, 13 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, I believe. In limited playing time, she was pretty much done in the middle of the third quarter. Caitlyn had all right game, I would say. Those are great numbers for that, but I saw some definite frustration on her behalf. She got a tech today, which was, if anybody questions her ability to care, that, getting techs in the preseason, that's like Draymond Green type material right there. I thought she whipped some killer passes to some folks, and not all of them ended in assists. Some of them would be like coaches' assists, where essentially if they pull her in the film room, it was like a foul that stopped the assist. She got a little frustrated with the refs and was really trying to answer some of the defenses in those moves she was making in the second quarter. The thing about it with her was you could see her get pissed over not getting a call, and then she's like, oh, well, all right, I guess I'm just gonna have to do my own thing. She showed some poise and being guarded 94 feet. So once again, she's getting guarded 94 feet in preseason. That is something definitely to take note of. Kelsey Mitchell went 5 for 12 today. I'm looking at the stats right over here, and 12 points. But every time Kelsey Mitchell scored, it felt just good. Like, it just seemed like the way that she scores makes this team that much more dangerous, because it almost happens out of design. I thought that Aaliyah Boston had kind of a rough outing, and I know a lot of fans of late have been down on her. They're calling into question like her physicality or touch around the basket, and I think she gave credit to some of those arguments today. And there's something going on with her and the other big players in the league, like that she's doing, that they all hate her. I don't know what it is, if she's throwing elbows or whatever it is. But, I thought that it was an interesting move to start Sophie Cunningham. So that gives when DeWanna Bonner first signed, I said that it was highly unlikely she would come off the bench, but she is versatile enough to fit in that role. She ended up scoring 8 points off the bench, but Sophie Cunningham did get the start and looked decent with the starting unit. But I think I kind of prefer her sparking that second unit myself and running a little bit of backup point guard as well. She did go down in the start of the third quarter, I believe, with a little ankle injury. She came down on Ryan Howard's ankle off a rebound, and everything, I don't think there's any serious worry. Like, she'll be ready for the start of the season, so that's good as always. I thought Brianna Turner looked kind of rough in her 20 minutes. Timpson did not have a Timpson-like game, only 2 points for her. And not really much to add. Jaylen Brown, tried to do her best to make the team, but I think she's going to end up cut. But the star of the show, pretty much for this show, for this game, was Lexi Hull. Not even, from the 3-point line, but she was, cooking. 14 points, it says, 4 assists, 5 boards, a lot of key offensive rebounds. This was one thing that she did really well last season, which would, with those long shots, they create long rebounds. So Lexi Hull just flies in there like a kamikaze. It's like she doesn't care about if she gets elbowed, if she gets dinged, if she falls to the ground. This is a tough woman. And, it doesn't look like it. She's, kind of slight of build. She doesn't look like the roughest and toughest player, but she, continues to impress me in this preseason. And she's been like solid, and she's going to come out and be a overvalued player. And hell, if she plays like this, you might want to throw her in that 6th woman of the year conversation. Like I said about Sophie that first game, if she plays like that. But what Lexi, like, I don't expect Sophie Cunningham to score 20 points off the bench every time, but what Lexi Hull was doing throughout this preseason is easily replicatable for her, or replicable, excuse me. But I think what she's bringing is toughness. She's bringing shooting. She's bringing a little bit of better touch around the rim, it looked like. She was able to finish on some layups. And another year of experience can't hurt. Overall, I think the Fever got a taste of how teams are going to compete against them because the Dream came out hard. They wanted to win pretty much through 3/4 of this thing, where the Fever just kind of coasted with a 10-point lead after that. This was a competitive game. Tahina Powell looked really good, and looks like she's going to make that team. So happy for her. She's someone that I would consider, taking the ride up to 75 to go watch, so a couple times this year, even if the Fever aren't in town. Brittany Griner showed that 3-point shot that I was talking about. I thought that that was important for her to establish that. They profiled Carl Smesko a lot. And Carl Smesko, they were talking about how he was influenced by Bobby Knight. And then immediately I was like, Bobby Knight? Like, I was like, is he going to start like throwing chairs and be like a disciplinarian and have a crazy attitude and say wild things? Hopefully that Bobby Knight is not what they were referring to. Hopefully it was the basketball execution, the drive for perfection, all that stuff. But it seems like the Dream and the Fever are going to be a fun matchup like it was last year. One of the best games of the year was the overtime game against the Dream in Gainsbridge. But Haley Jones looked good, came off the bench. As I mentioned, Tahina Powell led the team in scoring, I believe. Ryan Howard did not get her shot going. She's one of my favorite players to watch. I think her going 2 of 12 today should be a wake-up call. Like, hey, I like that, when people are missing, that they don't give up. But 2 of 12 is a lot. Alicia Gray hobbled off kind of with a knee problem in the first half, but she was Caitlyn's primary defender. As I mentioned, 94 feet. They were, giving her a lot of physicality. Bree Jones looked good. She hit a 3-pointer. If she can hit a 3-pointer, that's definitely going to be good for the Dream because I feel like their team doesn't make sense as constructed. Like, they got a philosophy of wanting to play fast. The 3 players that fit that. Alicia Gray, Ryan Howard, and I think you can throw Tahina Powell in there in light of the Jordan Canada injury. And I see Bree Jones and Brittany Griner, and I feel like these are slow players. They're like lugs. But Griner can, add that 3. If Bree Jones has a 3-pointer as well, that'll allow them to play 5 out. So they could, just swing the ball on the perimeter, try to catch people slipping, and open up the lanes. Like, in case, defenses are going to have to make choices on them, which, is a good thing if you're a Dream fan. Cheyenne Sellers really didn't get to show too much in her 10 minutes, controversially kind of cut from the Golden State Valkyries. So I don't know if she's going to end up making this team, but they had a little bit of time. The building there looks so unique on TV. I've been to that building before, and it's a really nice stadium. I went there for a wrestling event about 2 or 3 months ago, and you're just right on top of the action. So I definitely look forward to seeing a basketball game there as well, because you're right there, and it's like you could just see the energy in the crowd. You could see. I ended up having to watch it, and they said the games were free on the app, but it was locally blacked out, so I had to, obtain the game through other methods. So I was listening to the home broadcasters for the Atlanta Dream. I thought they were really good. They mixed up Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham, and I can't really blame them for that because I do that sometimes too. So, but yeah, I like their broadcast and I like their energy, and I love like the in-game, stuff for Atlanta. Like all the fight songs are local, like Atlanta rap songs, like from like the last 25 years. So it'll get your head nodding for sure a little bit. But overall, for the Fever, I think they got what they wanted accomplished in this preseason. Undefeated. Of course, any loss would have been probably brought with a lot of scrutiny, a lot of questions, and people will be making a lot of YouTube videos wondering about this lineup. At least for the time being, they can silence all of that. keep working hard in their training camps, finalize the roster, and then get ready for the regular season because they got Chicago, and that's going to be a game to send a message like normal. Ain't nothing changed. It's going to be a beat them down, and they're just going to keep on moving. I think that if there's anything I definitely want to see the Fever improve on is figuring out what Natasha Howard is going to do for this team as far as, all right, do you want to be the fifth option on a particular game with that lineup? Could they stagger it, that big five, that Boston, Howard, Bonner, Caitlyn, and Mitchell? Do they want to stagger this? Like, could they put Sophie Cunningham in there a little bit more? Could they put Timpson in there and then swing it to the second unit and say, hey, Natasha and Sophie Cunningham, you guys are going to come off the bench? Or Bonner, you can even flip with Cunningham. I think that's something to consider because, just having five people on the court that are really all that good, it by default knocks somebody back from what they really could be. And if, Natasha Howard wants to, just shoot and, take, her own, take the basketball into her own hands and all that, it might mess up the offense a little bit. But I think Aaliyah Boston also finishing, that's going to be, what I'm look to see from her this year, finishing all around the basket and continuing to make good decisions when, you come off those screen and rolls. So not really worried about Caitlyn at all. She looks better and she looks like she's coming back. None of the real hesitation from her that sometimes I think you could see last year. She knows who she is. The defense, even though they're guarding her, like I said, 94 feet, they give her the respect now. Like they're like, hey, if she's got the ball and it's one-on-one, she can just take her pick. Like she'll try anybody. She's like, I'll take you to the basket. I'll, shoot it in your face. I'll make a pass. I'll get it back. She has ultimate confidence right now. I'm seeing that in Caitlyn, and that's what you want your stars to have. I think that DeWanna Bonner, only 37% shooting today, 8 points. I think DeWanna Bonner can. Let me see how I can say this. I think DeWanna Bonner, in that open court, there was a play where Caitlyn just did a quarterback pass to her. The last two games, I would say, they same result, layup right in front of the rim. That's going to be a thing of beauty. If I was Natasha Howard, or excuse me, if I was DeWanna Bonner, that would be my primary focus this season. I'm getting 8 points a game off of that alone if I'm her. So I think they gotta figure that out. Like back in the old days, I used to hear about Wes Unseld. And Wes Unseld would just get a rebound. Also, Bill Walton would do this. Just get this rebound and immediately just be looking down court to, get their transition going. And that's going to be a strength of this. And their finishing in the open court is just going to give the Fever added element that they did not have last year. But overall, strong win. These are business-like wins, not exceedingly thrilling on paper. It wasn't a 20-point comeback, wasn't an ultimate blowout. This was like a solid, 5 or 6 point win, and I want those. So those add up. So anyway, my name is Rich. If you like this video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I appreciate all the support. Would love to see the channel keep growing, and you guys got me over 3,000 followers. I thank you so much. We'll be here all season talking about the Fever and various forms and other teams in the league as I see fit. So anyway, I'm up out of here. Holla at y'all. Peace. One lifetime.